I'll start off with what we are. We're the first community-owned and funded hydroelectric scheme in the country. There's two parts to that. There's the community ownership side of it and the fact that we're a hydroelectric scheme that makes it so unique. So where are we? Oh, how about that? There's New Mills. That up there's Manchester. We're right in the far northwest side of the East Midlands. But we are in the East Midlands, but we can see the northwest from our doors. We're most importantly on the River Goyt, or where the Goyt was set and meet, and you'll see those in a So there's Archie, our Archimedean screw, or reverse Archimedean screw. We haven't heard a great deal about hydro yet, but an Archimedean screw usually is used as a pump. Here somebody turned it around the other way, let water flow down it, the weight of the water turns the screw. It's in a park. It's in the Torrs Riverside Park in New Mills. The land is owned by the town council, and we have a lease on our plot of land. But it's open to all the elements, and that's one of the reasons why all the fencing's there. Because although there's no people there, it's quite a popular site now for people to come and see the site. And you can't see it yet, but down the side of the screw there is a fish path which allows fish to travel back up the river. So they can travel down the screw. The screw is fish friendly. That's one of the big criteria for hydropower, that you're allowed to install it as long as you're not damaging the fish life. These screws have been proven fish friendly, and then the Environment Agency paid for it, but we've now got a fish path that will allow the fish to go up as well. Its estimated power generation is 240,000 units a year, which interestingly we didn't get what was estimated either, and I'll talk about that in a bit. Okay, and it's been up and running since September 2008. Now, I'll stick on that one. Now I'll talk about the social enterprise side of things. That's the scheme. We got here probably a little bit unusually. That another company came to New Mills, saw the site, thought that was a great place to build a hydroelectric scheme. There's a social enterprise called Water Power Enterprises that were looking to build renewable energy schemes. They saw the site, they were working with the town council. The town council got less interested in it. Me and a group of other local people got more interested in it. Trying to cut the story quite short, in the end, me and Maggie at the back and two others became the founding directors of Torrs Hydro New Mills Limited. We are a cooperative, industrial and provident society for the benefit of the community, like the Hopkinton one. We are run for the benefit of the community in the sense that the shareholders don't make money. The money that we make, they're entitled to some of it, but the lion's share goes to benefit the community. In terms of funding the scheme, we had grant funding from East Midlands Development Agency, from the Co-op Fund, from the Sustainable Development Fund. £165,000 in grants. We did fantastically well. That's one of the advantages of being the first in the country. People are interested in seeing how it will happen, how it will pan out. We took out a loan from the Co-op Bank to help us pay for it, but £126,000 of share money in our cooperative made that scheme viable, made it buildable. We have 230 shareholders, some of which are in the room, or a few of which are in the room. They have a minimum shareholding of £250. The shares are £1, but you have to have at least £250 worth of them. We had debates in the early days of was that the right level to pitch it at? Should we go at £100 to get more people involved? I think £250 is about the right, and from the profile of the addresses that I've seen, it's not as obvious as you would think. It's not all the rich houses that have bought shares. It's not all the people who have loads of money. It's a cross range, and half of those shareholders are from New Mills itself. And a lot of the ones that aren't from New Mills itself, you can trace their roots back into New Mills. So it's a very local community-based action, and when we're down there doing our own afternoons that we do regularly, or even just doing some checks, it's quite rare that you don't find a shareholder walking past, walking their dog or something. You're always meeting them, but they love to feel that this is part of them. They literally do own that plant. Now we don't get feed-in tariffs come in because we've commissioned before July last year that the feed-in tariffs were announced. So we trade with the rocks, we get rocks. They don't pay anything like us as good as the feed-in tariff. If we were building this now, we'd probably get twice as much money out of it. But we do turn over around £25,000 a year, and we don't have any employees at all. We're all volunteers, including myself, obviously. But it has meant that we have to rely hugely on volunteer labour, which so far hasn't been a problem. I can imagine it will be a problem later on. Now I'm just going to go on and tell you how it works. Water goes in the inlet. You can see debris there. I'll talk about debris in a bit. Water goes into the debris, into the inlet. It goes under the engine house, passes down the screw, Archie. It's marvellous watching the whole thing start off from stationary. It's like a steam engine just slowly building up the speed, and then when it connects into the grid, it's a marvellous thing to watch. But we hopefully don't have to start it very often. We leave it running whenever we can. And then obviously water comes down the screw, that's the fish part. Comes out and then back out of the arch. As it's starting off, it like splashes the back of the wall. Marvellous. So we only borrow the water for about 10 metres. There. I don't mind labelling. Simple. There we are. Guess where the gearbox is in the generator? The top of the screw is there. It obviously feeds into the gearbox, up into a DC generator. Our inverter is a bit bigger and it's behind this 3-bit here in a box there. But we use the same sort of technology that you were talking about at Hopperton. There's an inverter there. The control system again is behind there. The control system just controls the amount of water that comes in by determining the water level in the river. We have to leave water going over the weir at all times, and so we mustn't take too much, and the sluice gate will close down to allow more water to go over the weir if the river's going down. And obviously if the river's coming off, then it'll open up the sluice to be full, fully open, and then we're generating.